Hey guys, we are back with another declutter, and this time I'm decluttering my Colourpop collection, mostly eyeshadow palettes, a few blushes, Super Shock shadows, stuff like that. I just did a huge eyeshadow palette declutter of just my regular palettes, and a lot of you guys were like, where's the Colourpop? But I have so much Colourpop that I had to make a separate video for it. So we are going to be decluttering some of my Colourpop collection today. I do have a very large Colourpop collection. A lot of it is sent to me in PR, which I am really grateful for. You guys know I love reviewing the Colourpop collections. I had a couple of questions too for people asking to like see my Colourpop collection, so you kind of get that in this video, a full rundown. There's only a couple things missing, like my foundations aren't in here and like my powders, but I think mostly everything is included. But yeah, we have a lot to go through, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so we're going to start with this huge bin that I started holding a lot of my palettes in. There's definitely more out there, but I do want to kind of clear this out. I feel like these are some of my favorite ones, so I don't know how many I will get rid of out of here. We will see. I might try to declutter some older ones that just aren't really being sold as much anymore. So let's see what we got going on. Starting up here with It's a Small World. This one's fairly new, and I actually thought it was a pretty good quality palette. I do like the colors in here, and I think you could do some really cute looks with it. So I'm probably going to keep this one. I'll probably keep most of my Disney ones just because I really love the Disney, except for maybe some really old ones. But this will be a keep in my collection. Next we have the Very Well palette. This one came out as an Ulta exclusive, and I guess it's sold out, but it hasn't been back, which I'm kind of surprised about. Usually they have stuff in stock for a while. I mean, this one was nice. There is some more glittery tones in here, and I did a really pretty look with it. I just don't know like if it's coming back, if I want to keep it, if it's just going to be like discontinued, since sometimes the ones for Ulta don't really come back very often. So maybe I might go ahead and just go ahead and declutter this one, because I know I do have some really good neutrals from Colourpop. This kind of reminds me of their taupe palette in Going Coconut, so we can let this one go. This one is Not a Box of Chocolates. I had some weird thing where I missed out on their PR packages for like a month, so I didn't get this one in PR, but I actually ended up buying it because I thought it was so pretty, and I definitely think this is going to be one that I love. Haven't had a chance to dive into this one yet, but I definitely plan to very soon. So I mean, this could definitely replace Very Well for me with all these gorgeous neutrals. I think this is stunning, so for sure going to keep it. Next we have the Muppets Holidays, Holidays, Holidays. This is such a fun one too. I thought the quality was great on this one. I think it's really fun and colorful, so I for sure want to keep that as well. Next we have the Clay It Cool, another one that I thought was pretty good. This is a good kind of alternative to the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2 palette. It's very rosy and pretty. I do want to hold on to that because I think these are nice. Same with the Twist of Slate, just a really nice everyday kind of palette. Next I have the Set in Stone, which is a little bit similar to the Clay It Cool. I guess Clay It Cool runs more kind of orange. Maybe I can go ahead and declutter this Set in Stone, since I do have this color story a lot in my collection. This is the Winnie the Pooh Sweet As Can Be palette. Adorable packaging. I didn't love the quality on this one. I didn't think it was their best, but I don't know, I just can't seem to get rid of this one, so I think I want to hold on to it for a little bit longer. Maybe use it one more time, and then I may declutter it if I just end up not loving it anymore. Let's go down the side here. So Very Lovely. This is a nice one, but it is kind of getting up there in age, and I just feel like not a lot of people have this one in their collection anymore, so it's not really one I need to keep to reference back to when I'm doing my comparisons. But it is pretty. I thought this color scheme was nice, but I definitely think they've kind of upped their game and did a little bit better than this one, so I'm gonna let this one go. A lot of their collabs I just have to keep. The Rudolph one, this is such a cute one. I do want to hold on to it. Just very nicely done. Love these colors. We have the Pretty Please next. Honestly, I was not that impressed with this palette. I didn't think it was their best. I think they definitely could have done better. I think I'm going to put this in the declutter pile for now. I just didn't love it. Okay, Troublemaker. This is one that I have not been able to use yet. So I definitely want to though, because this color scheme is stunning. I think I was on vacation when this one came, so I never ended up doing a review. But honestly, this is beautiful. I have to keep it, and I will hopefully try it out within the next couple of weeks. I didn't do a review on this one either, the Marielle one, the CTRL Alt Glam. It swatched really nice, but honestly I'm not a huge fan of the person, so I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter this one. I can never let this one go. I feel like this is the Lizzie McGuire palette. I used to be the biggest Hilary Duff fan ever. I was in her fan club. I got to meet her. I've been to her concert twice. I'm just obsessed with her. So Liz McGuire was huge in my childhood, and I think this is a fun palette. I don't reach into it as much as I should, but it's cute, so we're gonna keep her. Okay, Sailor Moon. I've kind of had this in my collection for a while because I feel like for a long time this was a really popular palette. I just don't know if it's something I reach for anymore, if I need to keep it. I'm not really super into Sailor Moon. I mean, I know of her, I just never really watched it. I mean, they did a cute job with it, and I know it sold out a bunch of times, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one go for now. Now, Lush Life I know is a little bit older in Colourpop terms, which is like 2 years or more, but this is the Lush Life palette, and it's one of their best, honestly. Oh no, my shade is crumbling. I'm gonna try and press that down. Anyways, this is one of their best colorful palettes that they've ever done, so I have to keep this one just because it's such good quality. The pigment in here is insane. Then we have The Nightmare Before Christmas. Of course, I can't declutter this one either. Such a nostalgic movie, so I have to keep that one. I think it's really fun as well. Okay, now we can get into these lined up ones. We have the Malibu Barbie palette, which I'm gonna keep. I also loved this one. I thought they did a really good job on it, and it was one of my first PR packages from Colourpop, which was so exciting, so I'm gonna keep that. Wild Nothing is one of my favorite neutral palettes from them. It's just so great for every day. It's, I think, 3 years or so old at this point, but I can't get rid of it. I think it's like discontinued and whatnot, but I still love this one, so I'm gonna hold on to it. The App for a Sight, this is a collab with Raw Beauty Christie. I think I'm finally gonna let this one go. Honestly, I just really never reach into it. It does have great pigmentation, but I feel like some of those darker colors can be hard to work with, and yeah, I think I used it like once, and that's about it. I do like Christy. I have nothing against her, but it's just a palette I don't reach for. Okay, the Limoncello palette. I don't think they sell this one anymore either, but honestly, it was a really nice palette. I love yellows, greens, and I still think this is really pretty, so I think I'm going to hold on to that one as well. I also loved this One and Done collection. If you guys like pink palettes, I think this is such a fun one, so I'm going to keep that. As you can see, I'm keeping most of these, mostly for comparisons. And then we have In the Springs, which looks like this. This was a pretty good palette, but honestly, it's not really a color scheme I go for. I kind of have trouble mixing and matching the oranges with the blues a bit. So I don't know if I'm quite obsessed with it, but I feel like a lot of people do have this one in their collection, so I think I'm going to hold on to it for comparisons and maybe try it out a bit more. Okay, next we have the On the List. This was an Ulta exclusive. I was not too impressed with this one. A lot of the Ulta exclusives I personally feel like are not as good quality as the regular Colourpop stuff. I don't know, maybe a conspiracy theory, but I didn't really care for this one. I'm going to let that go. Also, the Enchanted, this purple palette here. I think I can also let this one go as well. I didn't really love this formula. The Powerpuff Girls, I have to keep this one. I love Powerpuff Girls so much, and I thought this was really fun with the greens, blues, and pinks all together. A cute collab. I'm going to keep it. The Avatar one, this is actually really nice quality, so I do want to hold on to it, even though I'm not big on Avatar The Last Airbender. It's a nice palette. I created a really pretty look with it, so I'm going to keep it. Okay, I think I'm going to declutter these oldies. I've been kind of holding on to them because I wanted to collect all the Disney palettes, but I think I've changed my mind now, and hardly anyone has these. I have this Misunderstood Villains palette, so I think I'm going to let this one go. I actually ended up buying this one on Mercari, I think a couple years ago, to have the full collection, so it's barely used. But this is like their older formula, and I actually prefer their new formula. And this one as well, this is the Designer Princess little palette. I'm also going to let this one go. Is this their first princess collab? I think it was. The theming was a bit random with the whole designer thing. And it has like all the princess names in there. We're going to let it go. Next we have Star Wars, for sure keeping one of my favorite palettes of the year. It's so good. They did such a nice job. Okay, this is the Mulan palette, and I haven't used this one in such a long time. It's a mess, you guys. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to let this go. It's very glittery, and I don't really care for their old glittery formula. Next we have the original Hocus Pocus. I've been debating with this one because I just didn't feel like the formula was as good as some of their other ones, but I did a green look with it like this Halloween because I was testing it out again, and I really liked the look, but I don't know, I feel like I've just been holding on to it for nostalgia, and I think I like the new palette better, so I just don't think I need to keep this one anymore. I don't know. I might hold on to it for a bit more because I might be sad if I get rid of it, so let's just hold on to that. I'm gonna go ahead and just declutter this Midnight Masquerade, another princess one, again with these glitters I don't really use. It's pretty old at this point, and I never reached in for this. I didn't love this color story, so we can let that go. The High School Musical East High, I think they could have done better with this palette. I wasn't that impressed with it, so I'm gonna let this one go as well, just not in love. Now the All Hallows Eve from the Hocus Pocus I'm definitely keeping. This one is such a good palette, and it's an upgraded formula for sure from their other Hocus Pocus palettes. But this one I may end up decluttering, the Witching Hour. It's not my favorite from the collections. I feel like they definitely could have done better on that one too. So I'm going to actually let this one go. I feel like I don't need to have the full collection. Okay, into some mega palettes. Aurora Struck, this is one of their newest mega palettes. It's for sure staying in my collection. I think it's absolutely beautiful, one of my favorites of the year. I also love Smoke and Roses. I hate that these are so big, but honestly some of their best quality is in these mega palettes. This is such a pretty pinky rosy tone palette, so we're gonna keep that one. I have the Matte About Hue, which is just all matte colors, which would be great to kind of dip into from time to time if you need something like that, but it's just not something I really dip into. I'm not going to do an all matte colorful look. I prefer to use one palette for my entire look. I think I can go ahead and let that one go. It's just not my style. I recently picked up Stone Cold Fox for myself. Finally, I haven't used this one yet. I just got it for Black Friday. But these are definitely my tones. I think I'm going to love it from what I've heard. Okay, Getting Fresh. This is a fun one too. I love these greens and neutral tones mixed together, so I think I want to keep. And then Your Golden. This is another fun one. These can be very repetitive since they're so big. I think I might declutter this one. I feel like I'm not reaching for it as much as I would like, and I have so many other neutrals in the other palettes, so I think I can let that go. And then It's a Mood. I really like this one as well for some more color. It's kind of like fun and jewel tones, very fall themed. I'm going to keep it. Okay, I got this BTS collection. I know everyone went crazy for this one. I never got to review it because, again, I was on vacation when it came out, but I haven't touched this. So I'm not really a BTS stan, I know, but I'm going to go ahead and declare this one. I think I just swatched it for a video and that's it, but I just don't have a connection with this. And then as far as the Harry Potter palette goes, I do want to keep this one. I have been dipping into it and I do like the quality in here. I think it's really pretty. So this one is staying. All right, let me go ahead and put these back in this organizer. Next we'll dive into this, which houses most of my like 9-pan palettes here and some other like plasticky ones. So let's see what we could do here. I feel like I may be able to get rid of a few. First off, the What's a Shell collection I wasn't really a huge fan of, and I hate this plastic packaging. It breaks so easy. It just doesn't feel like nice quality. I'm going to declutter. Also these little Galaxy palettes, I think I'm going to go ahead and let these go as well. I just don't reach in for them for some reason. And I'm probably going to do this one too. I just don't like these plastic palettes. Ugh, it's breaking already. Like, you guys remember in my last declutter, I got rid of all of the plastic ones. I just can't stand them. So we're going to declutter this Glitch palette. Now, this one is in collaboration with Jasmine. I can't remember her last name. She's a TikToker. Did not love this palette. The quality was not great. This Hello Hollywood. We're going to declutter. I've been holding on to this because it is my zodiac sign, the Pisces one. I kind of wish they would make full palettes in the zodiacs instead of these little quads, but I just feel like I don't need this, so I'm going to let it go. And then I've been holding on to this little Hello Kitty pineapple palette just to have something from the Hello Kitty collection. I think people kind of realize like their smaller palettes aren't as popular as some of their bigger ones, so I feel like they kind of stopped doing these small ones. Which, thank goodness, because I just don't love them. I hope they do Hello Kitty again, but with bigger palettes, but I'm gonna let this one go. So, got rid of a bunch there. By the Rosé, this is one of my favorites, so I'm definitely holding on to it. Also, the Child palette, love, love, love this one. This Truly Iconic is from their Target collection. It's actually pretty good, even though it has this plastic packaging. It's decent. I'm gonna hold on to it. And then Going Coconuts. This is like such a classic. I feel like I can't get rid of this one. It was one of my favorites for years. I think I can probably declutter this Send Nudes one though from the Target. It's not bad, but I just have this color scheme 50 times over. Now the Vibe Check, I actually did not care for this purple palette. I didn't think it was their best, so I'm gonna let that go. And then the Muse Moment, this one's just a bit hard for me to work with the greens and peaches, so I'm gonna let this go too. And then All Amethyst, this is probably my favorite purple palette they have out right now, so I do want to hold on to that one. Blowing Smoke, I like to keep for like dark smoky looks, and I haven't dipped into it as you guys could see, but I do want to keep it because eventually I am going to promise to use that. The Wild Child, I used to love this one. It's still a good one, but I feel like it's going to be really similar to the chocolate palette, so I think we'll let that go. Okay, this Frozen Elsa, again, I've kept it because I've been trying to like have a Disney collection, but I'm not collecting anymore, so the quality on this one was not great, especially with the darker mattes, so it's a declutter. I do love this Darth Vader palette, so I'm going to keep that for sure. Also, the Mandalorian, keeping all my Star Wars ones. I can declutter this one. I kept it because I like the color story, this Nets one, but I haven't used it at all. It's kind of like the Blow and Smoke a little bit, but I'm not really attached to any of these NBA palettes. The That's Taupe, again, this is a classic for me that I do want to hold on to. I think it's really nice, cool tones. This is such a good one and very underrated in my opinion. The C3PO palette, gorgeous golds. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. I'm keeping this one. I also loved In the Limelight. This is such fun neon greens. I'm gonna for sure keep it. Again, more NBA, Chicago Bulls. I can declutter this one. This is technically my favorite basketball team if I had a favorite. I always like all the Chicago teams, but I don't reach in for this, so we can declutter that. And then this is one of the best palettes, the Tinkerbell. It's so freaking good. Like, why can't they make all of their quality like this? It's just amazing, so keeping that for sure. Let's do some organization. Okay, I brought my huge organizer over here now because I keep a lot of these Colourpop products just on my desk. It's a bit of a mess right now, but like I have a bunch of my Super Shocks in here, some cheap products as well. I need to tighten this knob, but whatever. So we do need to go through this stuff too, and I feel like I'm going to get rid of a lot of it because it's just too much. For these Super Shocks, I'm going to kind of put some music in the background and kind of go through these on my own with Keep and Declutter, just because there's a lot going on here. I don't want to sit here and like name every single one, so this will be with no talking. Okay, so here is the keeps. I know it's not much compared to what I had, but I like to just be able to fit everything here. I did some swatching on my own, so I have glitter all over the place, but yes, these are the keeps. I like to keep mostly wearable colors just to slip on for every day. And then all of these that you see here are going to be declutters. So I know it's a lot, but I just do not need this many Super Shocks. This next drawer is like a mix of stuff, just some different random cheek products in here. So for sure I know the Cheek Dews, I just don't like this formula. So we're going to go ahead and declutter any of these that I see because I just don't really care for the serum. They blend out to like almost nothing and I feel like they're hard to work with. I do like these color light sticks, these little highlighters from the Aurora collection, but I don't know if I need all of them. Like this one's a bit too extravagant for me, so I'm going to declutter the Light Chaser. The pink one's okay, but I think this one was my favorite. The Skywatcher, it just had more, I don't know, of a wearable tone. I guess I'll keep the green toned one and the pink toned one. I do have these blushes from the It's a Small World collection that I think are really nice. I do like these because they're more pigmented and darker shades, so they go on really nice. So I think I'm going to keep those. Also this head wig highlighter I think I'm going to hold on to. And this one I love, this bright pink, the Around the World. Here's another cheek dew we can declutter. I have some glitters, and honestly I don't really care for these, so I think I'm just going to declutter all these glitters. I just don't like them. These all can go. Then we have more like Super Shock blushes. A lot of these are limited, which I hate keeping all the limited stuff that you can't get anymore. I know for sure I'm going to keep this highlight. The Jubilant Chorus is gorgeous. I'll probably declutter this one. This is the Whimsical Ride. It was just a little bit dark on me. These bronzers, I didn't really test out the darker shades so much. I know I'll Bet was my favorite tone, but honestly I didn't love this formula that much altogether, so maybe I'm just going to go ahead and declutter all three of them. I'm probably going to keep these Tinkerbell blushes. I just loved this collection. Maybe I'll declutter this like electric, it's like a roller skate collection. I don't think I'm going to use those too much. This shade is super pretty. I don't know how to say it, but it was in like the, I think the So Very Lovely collection maybe. I don't know if they still sell that color, but I do like it, so I want to keep it. Then I have this gorgeous pinky one. I want to hold on to this called At First Blush. This poppy color, Margaret. Maybe I'll declutter that one. And then No Way. That one's really pretty too, so I'll keep that. I think next year I want to do better at trying out like all the blushes so I can actually form a solid opinion on them. The last drawer, which has more cheek stuff. Most of this is limited edition and I guess random palettes too. This one I'm going to declutter. This Coast is Clear. Like I said, I didn't care for these plastic ones. I think I'm going to keep this You Got Mail cheek product. It makes such a pretty light pink shimmery blush, so we'll keep that. I don't feel like I use these at all. I can declutter this really bright one, this Shelia. I can probably declutter this too. I know I have so many better highlights. I've held on to these forever, but I don't use them. These old Colourpop bronzers. They're actually a really good formula though. Like I really need them to bring these back because the powders that they have this year are not doing it for me for their bronzers, but since these are older and you can't really get them anymore, I'm just gonna declutter. We have this Flip Flop highlighter and the Windmill highlight. This is a blush. I might keep that one. I might go ahead and declutter the Flip Flop. I have so many of these cheek, like Super Shock cheeks. This blush palette is actually really nice. The Born to Blush, I'll keep that. As well as this one, the Just a Flush. These are really great. They come with 3 little powders and a cream. I have a Dobby highlighter. I feel like this one might be too dark. We love Dobby though, but yeah, it's a little bit dark for me. So we can let that go. And then Buckbeak. It's a little bit more wearable, but still too dark. I can declutter this. It looks like a bronzer to me. This is Bankroll. I'm gonna let that go. I'll probably keep this Lizzie one because it's Lizzie. So this is Delish. And then High School Musical. I think I'm going to let this one go, the Playoffs one. And Freaky Genius Girl. I think I'll let that go too. And then the Powerpuff ones I think I'm going to keep. They're just too cute not to have. This is Saving the World. You can find these at TJ Maxx now, by the way, in Fighting Crime. I found this one at my TJ Maxx. And then this Hello Kitty Aloha Honey. We'll keep that one so I can at least have one thing from the Hello Kitty collection. So yeah, we did a lot of damage here. Just keeping most of my limited ones. I could probably move these up here. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed. We definitely made some big dents. I have so much more room now to make way for some of the new ones next year, and I think we did really good, especially with like the Super Shocks. I just had so many of those I was never reaching for, and like a lot of the blush products as well from certain collections. So we definitely did great. I have like a whole drawer empty now and tons more room in my eyeshadow palette little boxes here. As always, I just wanted to remind you, none of this stuff is going to waste. I'll probably give a lot of these to my friends and family, but that's probably my last declutter of this year. I might do a Bath & Body Works declutter in the new year. Possibly we'll see sometime in January with some Since I'm Decluttering. I always just kind of like to do a roundup the end of the year to kind of go through some of my collections and kind of clear out some old stuff I'm not really using. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my eyeshadow palette declutter if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.